Good fortune is a support for virtue. Misfortune is an opportunity for growth. From the book of Perfect Happiness by พระอาจารย์ประยุตโต Very frequently, people conduct themselves unwisely in relation to the world around them. Everything in the world exists according to its own natural dynamic. But because people relate to these things unskillfully, harboring misguided attitudes and views, they unwittingly give rise to suffering. With clear discernment, we see how these worldly phenomena exist and proceed. But lacking such discernment, lacking a skill in proper insight and examination, suffering arises without delay. This rule applies also to the vicissitudes of life, turns of good fortune and misfortune. In Bali, these are referred to as worldly conditions. They are primary sources for people's joys and sorrows, highs and lows. When we encounter these worldly winds, if we do not come to terms with them prudently, our happiness turns into sorrow, and any existing distress is exacerbated. Conversely, if we maintain clear discernment and skillful behavior, our unhappiness turns into joy, and any existing delight is heightened. These worldly conditions befall human beings in line with the law of impermanence. There are 4 pairs of such conditions, namely gain and loss, fame and disrepute, praise and blame, and pleasure and pain. The Buddha said that These things are inherent in nature. By living in the world, they are inescapable. We all must face these conditions. If, when encountering these things, we maintain an incorrect bearing and behavior, we instantly inflict suffering on ourselves. When we obtain something good, some material reward, it is normal to feel delighted. Yet, often, when people lose a possession, they grieve because the object has vanished. If one responds to this loss unskillfully by feeling gloomy and depressed, engaging in self-punishment, railing against life, one only aggravates the situation and increases one's misery. So, too, with praise and blame. Everyone likes praise. Hearing words of praise, we feel happy and uplifted. But when receiving blame, many people feel distress. What is the cause of this distress? It occurs because people allow those words of criticism entry into their hearts. Having gained access, these words then cause torment and agitation. If we can come to terms with these things we considered, this is the way of the world. I see. The Buddha declared that by living in the world, there is no escape from these worldly conditions. I have met with these worldly winds. This is an aspect of truth. I will learn from these experiences. As soon as we can view these encounters as learning experiences, we have begun to adopt an appropriate attitude. We can even begin to have fun. We can reflect, so things are this way. I am beginning to see the truth of how things work in the world. We thus gain a firm foothold and realize contentment. This is the way of not accumulating unnecessary suffering. Generally speaking, when people are buffeted by adverse worldly winds, they make a problem out of the situation because they feel personally affected. If they can alter their perspective, these encounters simply become learning experiences. Besides coming to terms with these situations, we can also see them as an opportunity for spiritual training. Here, our entire attitudes and perspectives radically shift. We begin to see even those unpleasant and seemingly negative experiences as a test. With this shift in perspective, we gain from every experience, both good and bad events are seen as a challenge of our character, a taste of our skill and intelligence. As a consequence of this training and development, we become constantly stronger. In a sense, everything becomes positive. If we experience good fortune or encounter adventurous worldly conditions, we feel happy and at ease. We can then use that good fortune. For example, material gain, prestige, to radiate this happiness outwards. We use it to perform good deeds and to assist others. This way, our happiness extends outwards and reaches a large number of people. If we experience misfortune or encounter adverse worldly conditions, we consider these situations as an opportunity for development. They become valuable life lessons. a means to hone mindfulness, problem solving, wise discernment. This leads to self-improvement. For this reason, disciples of the Buddha maintain the principle of reflecting on things skillfully. If we possess skillful reflection, everything we encounter, both good and bad, is seen as a valuable and beneficial experience. Observing this principle is a fundamental spiritual practice. It is related to the first criterion mentioned above of refraining from creating unnecessary suffering.